If you're a runner that's been trying to figure out what on earth heel drop is and what stack height is, and you feel confused every time you go in a running store, well, in this video, I'm going to break down those two metrics for you so you feel more confident for the next time you buy a pair of shoes and you can find the best options for you. Okay, so the first metric we're going to address is something called stack height. Stack height refers to the vertical distance between where your heel touches the foam in the heel of your shoe and the bottom of the foam here. So this vertical distance is called your stack height. You can have shoes, let's say like Hoka's, that have a very high stack height and are also called maximalist shoes because they offer a maximal amount of cushioning. On the flip side, you can have a very low stack height in shoes like Vibram 5 Fingers that are called minimalist shoes because they have minimal foam density under the heel, and you can have everything in between. There's no set metric in terms of how high or how low that is. It really comes down to your preference of the type of shoes you would like. There is significant amount of research on either side as to which one's best. There are some situations if you have plantar fasciitis or you've had heel spurs, you may want to have some increased cushioning underneath the heel, so you might choose to have a higher stack height. On the flip side, you might want to strengthen your feet. Maybe you're a trail runner that wants to have a really good control of the ground and your balance. You may opt for a lower stack height shoe so you can feel the ground. And I would say that's probably the biggest difference, is the more foam you put underneath the heel, the less your brain can feel and foot can feel and sense the ground, and the less information you get fed back into your brain about where the ground is. So if you've struggled with lateral ankle sprains or you've struggled with foot injuries, you may opt for a lower stack height heel so you can feel the ground and improve your balance. So there's really no rhyme or reason as to what's best. That's really an individual preference. But again, stack height is the vertical distance from where your heel hits in the shoe to the base of the shoe. So this piece here is your stack height. Now what the heck is heel drop? Heel drop refers to the distance between the height, the highest point in the heel where your foot hits, and then the point where your forefoot hits the ground. So it's this angle here. And heel drop can be anywhere from 0 millimeters, meaning you have a 0 drop shoe, and it can go as high in most cases of 14 millimeters. So it slopes down towards your toe. Now you may ask, why even have heel drop to begin with? Well, when running shoes first came out, they were basically glorified dress shoes. They were all 0 or low drop, and they were just a rubber sole on a dress shoe. Well, as people started taking up running in the 70s and 80s, there was a higher incidence of calf and Achilles problems, pain in the back side of your heel and lower leg. And so shoe manufacturers decided, why don't we try to alleviate that by increasing the height of the heel to create an offset, which is, by the way, another name for heel drop, is offset. Either term is interchangeable. And great, that solved the problem. There were many people that had less calf and Achilles pain because there was a higher drop in the heel. But did it cause other problems? Yes. There was increased pressure on the knee, increased pressure on the hip, and you saw knee injuries go up. So there's definitely a cat and mouse game that exists between shoe manufacturers and running injuries. But what you can know for now is there used to be shoes only manufactured in about the 8 to 10 millimeter, which is how they measure it in millimeters, 8 to 10 millimeter heel drop range. That was the common, and it's by the way, the most common you're going to find in shoes. But now there are shoes manufactured in all the ranges. So you can have high drop, meaning anywhere from 12 to 14 millimeters. You can have mid drop anywhere from 6 to 10 millimeters. You can have low drop anywhere from 2 to 6. And then you have 0 drop, or means there's no drop whatsoever in shoes like Ultras that have become popular for that reason. So what you have to find is what's best for you. I will say temporarily, if you are dealing with Achilles or calf problems, having a higher drop, 10 to 14 millimeters, can do well to significantly alleviate pain. You can also get a heel cup that you insert in the shoe that does the exact same thing. On the flip side, you might find that you don't like a high heel drop because it does put too much pressure on your knee, the tissues in and around your kneecap and your hip, so you opt for a 0 or low drop shoe. There's no best case scenario. My suggestion is you try different pairs to figure out what works best for you. But let's say you're in a very high drop shoe, 12 to 14 millimeters, and for whatever reason you've decided, I want to get down to how running should be. Let's say you've read Born to Run, or that style of methodology where minimalist shoes and running the way we used to is what you want to tackle. You can't just jump from 14 millimeters to 0 drop. You are going to experience calf and Achilles problems. So you should decrease over time. Ideally a couple millimeters every 2 to 3 months. That's going to give you the best chance to avoid injury, to decrease load on your tissues, and make sure you transition well and not get into a situation where you get injured and have to stop running. So if you did want to transition to a lower drop shoe, 2 millimeters every 3 months is the suggestion. Yes, that might be longer than you thought, but I've seen that work out very well for runners that have wanted to pursue moving to a lower drop shoe. If you are struggling with calf and Achilles pain, there's no reason why you can't switch to an 8 to 10 millimeter drop shoe, let's say from a 4 to 6, temporarily, maybe for a month or so as your calf and Achilles heals, and then go back to your other shoe. That's also okay. So when you're thinking about which shoe is best for you, there is no true best. There's no one shoe that works best for everybody. There are many options to find the shoe best for you. And the best shoe is the most comfortable shoe. So my suggestion is find a running store that allows you to run in the shoes for a little bit and try them out. You may find that your typical shoe is 8 to 10 millimeter drop, but you may need a 4 to 6. The best thing here is to try it out and see what works best for you. All right, so we've covered what stack height is, which is the heel density here, the vertical distance from heel to bottom. We've covered heel drop, which is the heel height to the toe height. That offset in millimeters is what heel drop is, and hopefully now you're armed with some more information for the next time you go into a running shoe store, so you know what to ask, and if they're asking you what's your heel drop or offset or what stack height do you want, you'll know exactly what they're talking about, and you can feel more informed for your next shoe purchase. Hey, if you found a specific heel drop that you like, drop it in the comment below and let me know why you chose that and why it's worked best for you. That way everybody can read the comments and get some value out of that. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, train smarter and perform better.